Bum, 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 bum. Welcome to Heaven on Earth.
Yo.
Changing one life at a time through Jesus Christ.
Amen. Amen. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know what episode we're on. We've been consistent. I mean, we're in May. We started in
14.
January. Bro, it don't matter. We going. That's all
That's
I gotta
true.
say. Once we pass 10, we going, bro. At that point, it's out the window until we get to like 50, 100. You know, those big numbers.
Big numbers.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, welcome back. We got Cam back. I did mention before we even get started, Cam got to tell us the miracle that happened to him. So we're leaving it there. He's on the spotlight.
Dang. Okay, so my grandma, she's a strong Christian woman, but she, through generation curses, I realized was breaking generation curses. So she wasn't the best mother or grandmother to us kids, but what she did was she set herself up to be able to bless all of us when she passed, and God and her through her blessed me with being able to buy a brand new car paid off in full.
A brand new car. And it's not just it's not a used car, ladies and gentlemen. 2025. We're just gonna leave it there. But it's interesting because this episode's back when we had this conversation about a vehicle.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
We told you, and because you listened, look at what happened. This was just months ago. We said, hey, you don't want that, because me personally, I went and got lavish.
Yeah.
And God taught me my lesson about vanities. It's unnecessary. It's just going to bring stress to you.
That's good that he brings it up, because I didn't go, and this is perfect for what we're talking about today. I didn't get something to show off. I got something that's going to be reliable, keep me safe, allow me to do things in God's creation, and that's it.
Nice.
It is very nice.
Still,
but it's not a flex car.
It's not a flex car, but it's a low key, but
nice,
solid car.
Yeah.
You can't hate at it. Bro, I'm excited when that comes in, bro. Now, I'm so excited. I wanted to spill the beans, but that's your testimony.
Hey. It's just crazy because it's still soaking into me, but low key, shout out to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I keep on thinking about, and that's what John, Freddie, and I were talking about before it started is and you brought up a good point afterwards, is she laid the groundwork of an example of what we're supposed to do as godly men and women, is really this isn't all for me and myself and be selfish. It's you got to think there's someday you're going to take your last breath, but all your offspring are still going to be there. So it's how could you take care of these people without being there? And that's what I really appreciative of her for. Not even because I'm getting a blessing, but it's a great example.
You get to see that in family, someone close to you. Even though you may not have had the closest relationship, you get to have that. Now that's a blessing, bro. That's a huge blessing. Freddie actually, his blessing is brewing right now. We'll say it's at 80%.
Okay, catch me up to speed.
But nah, we gotta wait.
Not yet. Next episode, baby.
Next episode, we gonna hear his blessing, because his is crazy too.
Yeah.
And I told him that was gonna happen a while too, and it's happening. And it's it's one of those it's really literally just trust God.
Yes.
Stay patient, because how God works things, it's the blessings of God. There's no sorrow with it.
Yeah.
Yours, there's no sorrow. Everything's paid off.
Yeah.
Very few people could ever say that.
No, I know, and trust me, I'm beyond grateful.
No,
yeah.
What? And then when his comes in, there's no sorrow with his either, because it's wow, I didn't I really.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, that's his, and it ties into what we're gonna talk about today, and the message is how to live a life pleasing to God. And the biggest thing is I shared with you the three big principles: humility, being content, because you were content with the car you had, you were content with your life.
Let me touch on that, because I explained that to somebody as well. Is and this doesn't go just for this specific situation, but God really does operate in producing miracles in your life when you're actually content, fully content with where he has you in the present moment instead of dream chasing and chasing all these miracles like, oh, my life is going to get so much better when A, B, and C happens. It's like I literally got to a point of where like, if this is the last car that I ever have, I still love it.
Yeah.
And like, it was kind of, as low-key, it was kind of irritating when my dad told me all this kind of stuff because I was like, I just got to the point where I was cool with my car. Yeah. And then now you're going to do this to me. But then I was like, I got over it real quick. I was like,
it's a blessing. Like,
no, I know, but you get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because even like, think about the car I got too. Yeah. God blessed me. It was like,
oh, yeah.
It was like, wow, this car actually fits me. Like, and how I want to live life now. I don't want the rah stuff. Yeah. Like my car is still like really nice, but it's like low key. Like you have to pay so much attention to the car and be like, oh.
It's not living in a way where it's like,
look at me.
And that's what John and I are really going to talk about, is a life that glorifies God. Because like, it's not that God doesn't want you to have nice things. It's more so he's not giving you these resources and potentially just the network of being able to reach out these people to be like, oh, this is my stuff. Yeah. Look at what I got the newest this or that. Yeah. That's not about it. It's more so like the servant of the town, the parable of the talents. Yeah. I think about all the time is like, he's like, okay, I give you this, but what do you do with it? And if he sees that you're using it wisely, I always think of the verse as well as like, you've been faithful with little, you'll be faithful with much. Yeah. And then it's the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. And the three, so we hit two principles: humility, contentment. The last one's faithfulness. Because you were faithful with what you had at the moment, you were content with it, and you were humble about it. God was like, okay, here's the next step. Yeah. And that's really a blessing like no other.
No, I know.
And the like where I'm coming from, because I've seen two sides where people will say this, but they're envious. Yeah. Like, that should have been me. I wish it was me. There's that part that could come out. No, I'm genuinely just happy because like we spoke about it, seen it. Yeah. I've seen you have all three of these principles just in this situation, just speaking about this because it's the blessing we just see right now. And then now to see God like, okay, time's here for you. All right.
Boom. And I have to be vulnerable with saying this. It's so true what God says in his word. It's when the time is right with you and in his timing. Yeah. Like, because I was thinking about it, because I do a lot of thinking. It's just something that I do. My mind never stops. Is like, what would have happened if this blessing happened 2 years ago? Oh, I'd been acting a fool. Yeah. And then it's like, now I realize like, the best thing you can do with your life is just be patient, learn what God's teaching you in this moment, and just get ready for what he's preparing you for. And when you're focused on, and you'll attest to this, when you're focused on those kind of things, nothing else really matters.
And you're at peace.
Yeah, you're just chilling.
Because, like, that's why I think last week's episode was key. What does Jesus is Lord really mean? And it's like, I trust him with my whole life. Like, here's my life. However you say it should go, my life should go, it's going to go that way. And I'm okay. I'm willing. I'm obedient.
And I feel like with both of us especially, and it's not going to be for everybody because everyone's a different person and everyone has a different path, but for John and I specifically, I feel like God really did destine us to be prodigal childs. Yeah. And like go really see what was out there, because like I personally, now just speaking about me, I don't think that if I had that experience, I would be as like diligent as I am now with him, or I wouldn't be appreciative of God's blessings that he would be having in my life, because now I really know the far left and the far right, and it's like I'm just so glad to be on the right team now. Like, whether it's minuscule blessings or big blessings, I'm jumping up and down because it's like I've been there, baby. I don't want to go back.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like I've tasted that other side.
It's not good.
It's not good at all. It's not good for your health. Like, you're really dead. Yeah. Every day you're waking up stressed, trying to figure out how you're gonna make it to the next day. Yeah. Like, it's worry, anxiety, everything is there. And yeah, life is kicking. Everyone is like hunting at you and just trying to.
And you always are on the defensive
Yeah.
and kind of like. I remember with myself specifically, it wasn't like I could trust you, but it was like minuscule trust.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, oh
I'm
no,
waiting.
this guy's like coming after me this way. And it was just like a constant state of being paranoid. But now,
fear.
yeah, when you're on the flip side, you see it going on. You're like, oh, bro,
You're not affected
oh
by
my
it.
God, yeah.
Like,
God's got me.
chaos is happening around, and you're like, that's why, man, shout out my grandma for making me really memorize certain Psalms. But Psalm 91, where it's like, 1,000 will fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but none of it will come near you. Only with your eyes shall you see the reward of the wicked. And you literally see it.
Yeah.
Like for me, I see it at work. I see it in life, like period now, like where I was part of that 1,000 that was falling, that 10,000 that was falling. And when I finally was like, no, God, like you are Lord. Like, Jesus, you are Lord over my life. Here's my life. Like however you want it to go, let's do it. Like I have nothing else but you at this point. You're the only one who's never failed me. So why not just go all in? And it's like things are happening and it's like he's protecting me. Even though I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's like, okay, I'll just, like you said, just focus on today. Focus on you today. When tomorrow comes, we'll focus on tomorrow when that comes. But it's like, just work. And doing that, like life becomes fun. Days do go by fast now. But it's like happy though. Like I'm not as stressed as I was in the past. I'm not afraid like I was in the past. It's like, no, God has my life in his hands.
It's my time, bro. It's my time, yeah.
Like you tell him, like, yeah, if God knows what I need.
Yeah.
He provides like ASAP. Like it's crazy. I told you yesterday, like, or 2 days ago with my apartment.
Yeah. That's a big blessing, dog. Now it's your time. Now your spotlight's on him.
I wasn't
Freddie,
even
put
thinking.
that camera on. Hey, tell us about that blessing.
Bro, I wasn't even thinking about it. Okay, so
that's a huge blessing.
Bro, maybe like 2-3 weeks. 2-3 weeks ago, I thought about it. I was like, oh man, like, it's my renewal for my apartment's gonna come. Yeah. This is the first apartment. I'm like, I actually want to stay here a little bit longer. Like, I want to stay here another year and just keep building. I get it. I'm grateful for being here
instead of having to move again.
Yeah, and I was like. And in my head, I was like, all right, God, whatever. I know, like, how this rent thing works. Like, it's going to go up by a couple hundred. But, like, whatever you want at the end of the day. I get a call so I go on a walk. And as I go on this walk, like, it's like the Holy Spirit told me. It was like, go your long route. Take your time. Go the long route. And then I was like, okay. And then I wanted to fight it. And I was like, I should shorten it, though, because I don't want, like...
me wasting too much time.
Yeah. And I was like, no, because every time I didn't go with that first intuition, something like I miss out on something.
Yeah.
Let me listen. I go on a long walk, business starts booming. Everyone starts hitting me up. Hey, John, we have this project for you. We have this project for you. I'm like, okay. And this is halfway through the walk. Cool. I'm getting closer back to the apartment. And then I get a call and I didn't answer it. And I see a voicemail and it's my property manager. Calls me and I'm like, I don't know what I did. I know I've been, like my neighbors love me.
Hey,
like,
isn't it crazy though that like the first thought's always like, oh bro, what did I do? What did I do?
And I was like, I don't know what I did, but you know, like with iOS, like how you can read the voice. So I'm reading it and she's like, give me a call back. I just had something great that just popped up for you. I'm like, rather than give you a call back, I know I'm about to just walk into the office.
Yeah.
So I'll just walk in the office. I walk into the office. She was like, John, I want you to know I did a proposal for you for renewal. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay.
Like, what's that mean?
But you could see like she's so excited.
Yeah.
And she was like, John, so for your renewal, so for your July to next July.
Yeah.
She was like, your rent increased by $10. I said, what? I was like, wait. I was like, what? $10? She was like, John, I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, dude, it's rare, bro.
Yeah, she was like, I've never seen it. I just put it out there, just hoping. And the thing she told me, that I was like, wow. She was like, you know why this happened for you? Because you do care about people and you're kind. You do the little things that people don't know about. She was like, you're one of the 3 people that I did it for. Everyone else's numbers Like, they saved a lot. You're the only one that got that. I was like,
Jeez.
okay, then. Thank you. And I was like, that's God.
Yeah.
And then I started telling her stories that are happening, and she was like, nah, you have like really good intuition. Like, and she was confirming, like, nah, like God is around you.
Yeah.
And she's that's my people's. Like, I don't want to disclose no name, but that's my people's. And it was like, dang, like $10 increase in rent in California?
Unheard of, bro.
Unheard of. That's only God that could do that. And in my head, the whole time I was like, I'm fine with a couple hundred.
Well, and then this is like another disclaimer too. It's not like John's renting from somebody that he knows. Like, this is actual like development with the management group. So it's even more of like a, if you don't see this blessing, you need to open your eyes.
You need to open up your eyes. You're tripping. And I'm like, I just thank you, God. But yeah. So let me. That's crazy that I actually had a miracle to talk about and a blessing to talk about.
Come on.
I wanted to talk about yours because yours was, but mine is also huge.
Yours is
too,
huge.
It's like, yeah, bro, like God.
Hey, a miracle's a miracle. I don't do the whole little miracle, big miracle.
No,
it's a miracle's a miracle.
100%. We're gonna get into scripture. The scripture I wanted to base our reading off of today was 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11. Now, this is going to be like the basis of how to live a life that's pleasing to God. This hit me when I heard it, because like when I chapter 4 verse 11, when I heard it, I was like, wow. Now this is how life should be, and this is like how I've been yearning to live life as of lately. So it says, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody. Read your version, because you have the New King James.
Says that you also aspire to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your own hands, as we commanded you.
Verse
12?
Yeah.
It says that you may walk properly towards those who are outside, and that you may lack nothing.
Because, like, okay, and then, like, before we go into other scriptures and stuff, I think about why my life has been so hectic and why I've been so stressed and worried, because I did the complete opposite of this, right? And when I say the complete opposite, I wouldn't mind my own business. I want to know what's going on. I want to like hear the gossip, and then I would get put in the gossip because I'd start sharing things that I should have just kept to myself, you know? And I wasn't wise. He says be wise, because I'm putting you as sheep among wolves.
Yeah.
People are looking like to devour.
A wolf's in sheep's clothing, dog. They act like a sheep, they eat like a sheep, but the first moment they get and they see you vulnerable,
they're ready for it.
Yeah.
But and he was like, just be wise as serpents, and I forgot what the other one was. And he was like, just so you don't, like, none of this happens to you. But I didn't know that. Like, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's just like we were trying to figure it out ourselves. Whereas that's why it's so key to read the Bible.
Yeah.
Because then I stumbled upon this, and I was like, as of like this year, this is how I've been feeling. Like, I don't want to be a part of like the rah-rah. I don't want to be a part of like all this earthly things. Like, I want to just keep to myself in that sense. Like, love people, of course, respect people as I'm out in public, but for the most part, I want to keep my affairs to like my like close-knit group of people.
And this is perfect. So like, I do the New King James Study Bible, so it's saying for verse 11, it kind of gives a good reference point, because a lot of people, and I can say including myself, if I wasn't to look into it deeper, it would be like, okay, just don't really do much, just like read this and that. But it says this does not refer to a lack of activity, but rather to an inner quietness and peace befitting the Christian faith. And then for verse 12, it's saying that, explaining with your own hands, it says usually people who are busy running others people's affairs do not run their own affairs well. A Christian's household should be in order as a testimony to others.
Come on, like, you're busy being a slave and building up someone else's household. rather than focusing on you and
Yep.
building up your own house. And that's the problem with the world. Like, that's why, newsflash, like, I deleted all social media. Like, deleted. Because I don't need that, bro.
Yeah.
Because all it is me, like, comparing myself, looking at what other people are doing. I don't, like...
It's a distraction,
Yeah,
bro.
I don't even want to have that temptation anymore. To even, like, want to... Oh, man, like, I say I'm off for, like, a month. Oh, man, let me just hop on it, see what messages, like, who's reached out. I don't care for that no more.
Nope.
It's like, I wish you the very best. If we see each other, beautiful. Then we could connect. Because it makes it different where it's like, I don't know what you've done for a whole month.
And now we
whole
could
year.
catch up. Yeah.
And there's true, like, there's stories, blessings, like, meaningful conversations we could have. Whereas with social media, everyone knows what you're doing.
Yeah. So then when you get in front of each other, it's all just chatter and small talk, or it's a repeat conversation, this and that. But like what I was gonna say is, for me, because I did, like, I'm back on it now, but with like very select few people, and like I rarely go on it. But when I deleted it for like 2.5 years, you'll see what happens is the initial shock already happened, which you explained, but then you'll see the actual real people that cared about you will end up, like, a couple months later down the line, will reach out to you, and then all these people that you, like, potentially thought cared about you or this or that, they'll just be gone like a fart in the wind, just like never hit you up. But the people that actually do care about you will make some sort of effort to get in contact with you.
To reach out.
Yeah,
Definitely. And I mean, right now my family, they didn't know.
yeah.
So I think that was like part of why
They're gonna do a
they were reaching
wellness
out.
check on you.
Yeah, everyone was like wellness check, like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Getting phone calls, and it's like, I'm perfectly fine. Like, I really enjoy my solitude right now, and I just want to focus on, like, what's going on in my life and my relationship with God. Like, I want to build that so that when I'm out of it, like, you really can't shake me. It's like, now I'm perfectly fine. And I'm even getting to that point. You can't really shake me no more.
Well, and that's what this is before coming back to Christ, but I did it as a point to, like, teach myself that, like, not to be like a pessimist, but like I should really, as I'm becoming a man, get to the point of where, like, I don't have to rely from the applause of, like, others, or like to have other people validate my accolades or my work. And what it's done for me is, like, I used to do things in a way, it was for myself, but it was also to appease others. Yeah. And then, like, what I think now, like, people have a hard time with having relationships with me in person is, like, I'm not doing it for anybody's, like, I'm approval. There because, like, I want to be there, and if I'm not there, I'm not there. Yeah. And, like, it blows people's mind that have, like, TikTok brain. Yeah, because it's like, oh, we're all doing it. We're all going to dinner, and we're going to make a video, and we're going to pretend like it's all happy. And it's like, that's cool. You do that. You do like, that. I'm not judging you. Like, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do, like, me.
You should be fine that I am in control, like
of my life. I don't need all this.
Yeah, I don't need all that. I don't want all that either. Like,
yeah.
I wish you the best, though. Keep moving.
And I feel like that tandem with building that foundation with God, you come out, like, unstoppable. Not meaning in, like, you're just dominating everybody, but all the little chatter, the, like, oh, he said, she said, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't faze you, because you're focusing on the person that's should be validating you, should be correcting you, should be speaking to you. You're now putting them in the focal point. And then you kind of, like, it was like what we talked about before this started. No longer does it irritate you, but now that you have your, like, focus on what's right, and you're kind of, like, renewing your mind, when all this stuff goes on, instead of getting irritated, you're hearing their lack of a relationship with God. Yeah. And you're kind of like, oh, and it's not like you're making any sort of judgment. You just understand this is why this person is the way that they are. Yeah. And it's like, if they ever reach out to me, I'll help them. Yes. But, like,
I'm not gonna.
Until then, like, you do you. Yeah. And just, like, I'm not judging you. I'm not this. I'm not that.
It's
And nothing
literally that.
irritates you.
Yeah, like you're not phased by anything. Like even our conversation this morning.
Yeah.
Like I was able to put myself in your point of view, but also like, hey, like
Knock it
Cam,
off. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it was like, Cam, snap out of it. Get out of that. Like you're working your way out of that. Get out fully from it.
It was mine. That was more of a joke though,
But
because it was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Like, that was like one of those moments. Like, there's no way. Like, who do you think you're fooling?
But at the end of the day, it's like,
Does it matter?
it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't matter, and that's their life. Let
Yeah.
them live it that way. They're gonna have to deal with the consequences. The Bible said everyone will have to atone for their actions, their thoughts, their deeds. So you have to do it for you. I can't do it for my kids if God blesses me with that. I can't do it for my partner. I can't do it for my mom. I can't do it for my dad. I can't do it for my brothers, my
Just
sisters.
me, yeah.
I can only do it for me. And the best way to help teach others is to be that living example. And it's
Yeah.
not, that's why I also brought up that 2 episodes ago, and I was so harsh on myself and us, was like, we can't just be hearers of the word. We actually have to be doers of the word
And
as
that's
well.
and that's the last part of the equation is like, in order to not be a Pharisee, like when Jesus came in, full of head knowledge, not applying anything, judging other people, because that's usually what happens. If you're not doing and you have head knowledge, you get the finger mentality.
Yeah.
And you're like, or somebody coming in. So this is my absolute favorite example of this, is that like somebody could be in the church for, let's say, 100 years, because that's what it seems like some of them have been in there, full of head knowledge, and then they get this person that's coming in barely, and it's like they know every biblical answer, they know every scripture for what you're going through, they have a sermon and this and that, and it's like when you're first, this happened to me, so it's like when you're first new, you're like, oh man, this guy's got it going on.
Yeah.
And then you start like being around this person because you're like, dude, I want to be like them because they got,
know. Yeah.
and then you're like,
I don't want to be
bro,
like
this
you.
is just a Sunday facade.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, then you wonder why they're having the same consistent problem. And this goes back to how this rant started, is because they're not doing the word. And it's when you start doing the word, which is your part, and then the comma, but God comes in, because like God's waiting for you to do it first. And then he comes in and he's like, here's a favor, I'll take care of you. But the main requirement is doing the work.
Yeah. Like you have to do the work.
And the Holy Spirit helps you, bro.
But think about, what did it say here? Work with your hands.
Your hands.
Like it literally, this whole thing tells you how to live a life that does please God, right?
Yeah.
It's telling you, make it your ambition to just have a quiet life. Quiet life, like we said, like where you're not part of like the group that's talking this. You're not part of the noiseless chit chatter. That's not you.
Well, and also with this, I want to say with this, if you're focusing on this specifically, all of the other pointless things, like, okay, so I'm going to go on a list. It's clothes, cars, jewelry, excessive tattoos, things of luxury, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't care about it anymore. So it's like, and plus, most of the time you're getting all of these things, you're doing it to lift yourself up in some sort of social, you're looking for some sort of approval. So like living a quiet life doesn't mean that like you don't have nice things and stuff like that. You just don't have to tell anybody about it. Yeah. And that's the best part.
And you don't look to be flashy.
Nope.
No, you look to just be like, hey, like,
it's actually a good thing to be a mystery to people. Like that's what some people need to learn. It's like you don't have to like show up to the table at school and put all your cookies on the table.
No, it's better for people to learn about you through like your actions. Like, like dang, like who's like, it's like, who is this person? I see him, okay, and then they see you always kind, always loving, work hard, like, and they see the fruits
of your labor,
labor, and that's where that part comes in. Then we'll go to, you should mind your own business. many times we have problems because we don't mind our own business. And every time I speak about these things, I'm talking from first person.
I know.
Like, and that's why, like, what your point was so key. God, like, let us see this whole side of things.
Yes.
So that we can be able to, like, also teach other people, like, hey, we've been through this. Maybe not to the extent that you're going through it right now, but we've been through something similar.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, like, man, it's so pointless. Like, you're trying to keep up with it every day. Your attention now is focused on that rather than how do I build myself up.
Well, and that's crazy to think about too, because like really digesting that was like a key breaking point in my life. Like I was so in my early to mid 20s, whether I wanted to admit it or not at the time, I was so in everybody else's business, but my life was not changing. But like I would always be like, dang, like what are like my friends doing different than me? And then I realized, like, and this analogy gets some heat, but it's kind of the truth. It's like, first, in order to take care of other people, you have to take care of yourself. And it's not being like, and this is the way I explained it, and I got heat from a specific person, but it's just the truth. Is like, in order to become selfless, you must first become selfish and fix all your problems and focus on like getting your relationship right with God. And then after you maintain that, you can step out and be selfless because you're healed by Him, and now He's equipped you to be able to do the work.
What did Jesus say when he was the Sermon on the Mount, when he said, "Do not look at your brother's eye and say, hey, you got a plank right there where you have a whole beam in your eye."
Yeah.
It's work on yourself. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And when you work on yourself, you will get to a point where you can see what's going on with someone else, and you won't come off as judgmental.
Yeah.
You can actually come off as someone that's kind, caring, and loving.
Like authentic too, because that's the thing too, is like, especially if you're trying to help somebody within Christianity as a whole.
Yeah.
Vulnerability needs to be more of a thing. Like if you start having a conversation with somebody and like they could tell it's coming from a place of like vulnerability. I'm saying this because I actually do love and care about you. That conversation, God moves through you as the vessel to hear them. Because with those three key ingredients, what that does is it's making sure that you're humble, you're focused on glorifying God, and you're trying to assist one of His children. And He's going to come in and He's going to, your situation has opened the door for the conversation, but the words coming out are not of you.
Yeah,
so it's
Holy
like
Spirit driven.
You just allow what needs to be said, and don't try to like over fluff it up or make it your own words.
Yeah.
And just leave it at that. And usually that conversation, that person
plants a seed.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh, I prayed about this.
Or waters a seed that was already planted.
Yeah.
And that's why Jesus also said, like, there, what is it? I forgot how he worded it, but he was like, there's many, there's a lot to harvest, but very few to like actually do the work. I forgot exactly. Very few workers and a lot of harvest now. Because they've done a lot of
explaining
it was like
bringing believers to Christ.
Yeah.
The harvest is bountiful, but the workers are few.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's that analogy right there. Thank you for remembering that part.
It wasn't me. I'm gonna be real.
It's the Holy Spirit, bro.
I'll be real.
Thank you, Holy Spirit, for using Cam to remember that for us.
Yeah.
And like, you also think about this, like, whatever you focus on, that's where you go. That's where you're directed to.
Yeah.
So if you're focused on everyone else's business, your life becomes like theirs.
Yeah.
If you're focused on Christ, guess what? Your life becomes like Christ.
Yep.
In the aspect, you're going to suffer because you're one of the few that are doing the right things in the world.
Yeah.
And the world right now is chaos. It's just terrible. It's terrible.
Hey, read Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah,
and let me know how it relates to now times, bro. I had that epiphany today.
But and that focus part is so true. Like, you have the bullseye. If you're focused, or basketball, that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
The biggest thing when you shoot a basketball, like,
where
yes,
you're focusing.
there's a lot of like there's techniques and stuff, right, to get used, like that will help you make more. But the biggest thing is, where are you focused? If you're focused on just the rim, you're gonna hit the rim majority of the time. If you're focused on the back of the rim, you'll hit the back of the rim. If you're focused on the backboard, you'll hit the backboard. But if you're focused on like through the rim, you would start hitting more and more and more, and everything else would develop with it.
Yeah.
And you may not have the prettiest form shooting wise, but it's like that's where your focus is. So more than not, you're gonna be hitting that, which would be swish or mix. And it's like when we hooped that one time,
Yeah.
you remember before you started hitting shots, I watched the game before,
Yeah.
and I was like, Cam, bro, you're missing shots because you're not looking at what you're shooting at.
Yeah.
You're looking down, and I get it, you're trying to get by somebody, but it's like,
And then I'm looking up for a quick second
At the
to
last
like
second, yeah.
right before I release it. Yeah.
so you're not focused. Like your eyes, there's so much to see when you look up. Like, and now like we're not skilled to that point where we
Yeah.
can like Steph Curry, like, boom,
Yeah.
and we're there. It's like no, we have to focus more. That's like look up, like keep looking up.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Christ, like telling us, like focus on me. You focus on me, I take away all of this chaos, and then you're in a bubble with me. And it's like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah, in the furnace.
In the furnace, they focused on Christ while they were getting burned up. Christ literally put them in a bubble. Nothing happened to them. Not
Yeah.
even a piece of their hair was caught on fire.
Yeah.
And it was like, because you focused on me, I can take care of you.
Yeah.
And then you think about Simon Peter when he was walking on water. Focus on me, Simon.
As soon as he looked away, he started slipping.
Right
Yeah.
away. And then I don't know, I think it's in Proverbs. It's either in Proverbs or Ecclesiastes, or it's in Deuteronomy, where it says like when you're walking with the Lord, don't look to your left, don't look to your right, don't look behind you, just stay forward.
I think
It might be Proverbs.
I was thinking Ecclesiastes, but I don't want to.
It might be. It's one of those.
It sounds like the three of them.
Yes, it's one of the three.
Yeah.
where we get a lot of commands and like daily like living.
Yeah.
But like it's like don't look left, don't look right, don't look behind you, just keep looking forward. Because when you drive, yeah, you could glance to the left, glance to the right, but typically you're looking at where you're going. If
Yeah.
you're looking at behind, you're gonna crash and hit something. If you're looking at the right the whole time,
You're gonna
you're
go
gonna
to the
crash.
right.
Yeah. Typically, when you want to go right, where do you look?
To the right.
To the right.
Yeah.
If you want to go left, you look to the left.
To the left. To the left.
And then when you want to go backwards, you look backwards. This guy.
I'm sorry,
And
bro.
then we're about to get copyrighted again because you want to start
Hey,
singing
bro.
like Beyonce.
Come on, I'm just blessed like that.
Hey, Beehive, feel free to watch our videos. We speak in truth. We speak in truth. But yeah, like
Beehive.
yeah, it's the Beehive. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
I know, I get it.
Yeah, that's her, right? Yeah.
But I was just a little shook. Oh, dang, he knows
I don't know.
everything.
Come on, bro. Hey, man, I used to be on like social media heavy back in the day. Like I knew my stuff, bro. Just because I'm not on stuff right now, don't mean I don't know pop culture.
Hey,
I'm just
that's
taking
right.
myself away from the world. Now.
Hey, want to know what's crazy though? And this is like a side rant, but it's just the truth for anybody that does this.
Yeah.
When you get away from it, you'll be around people and realize how everything's a trend, bro.
Yeah.
Because like you're not getting fed the trend, so you don't feel like you're moving with the progression of everybody.
Yeah.
And you realize, bro, it's a 1 to 3 month loop that social media and all the influencers that they pay, they start changing. So it's like by the time people are able to finally like purchase what's going on,
Yeah.
they're already changing to a new style.
And then
you're
they're
like
trying to catch up.
yeah, and you're just like looking around and you see it happening and you're like, oh dude, this is
It's
pointless.
That's what it is. It's like, bro, those are the gods. That's literally idolatry.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, okay, what are we gonna get that's gonna hook them? Okay, this is gonna hook them for 3, maybe half the year.
Yeah.
They'll throw it, and I'll make a correction on it. It's not social media. It's media in general.
Yeah.
Because
in
think about the
general, yeah.
news too. They'll put
They'll
on,
get you hooked,
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll get you hooked, and it's like that's where it goes down to who's your God, who has a pedestal for you, where are you consistently at, and it's like the more and more you get away from that stuff, like you start to see the world for what it is, and it's like you'll listen to conversations and be like, is that the best that you guys can talk about? Like that's all we
Yeah.
talk about. It's like, guys, do we know we talk like for example with women? Majority of women.
Dude.
When it comes to no, I'll talk about like be in their point of view when guys are talking sports. Talk football, and for them it's like, dude, this is pointless. This is all you guys talk about.
Yeah.
When you start focusing on God, you get put in like in an eagle's point of view, right?
Yeah.
You start soaring up with God, like, and God's showing you and teaching you, like, see how pointless things are, right?
Yeah.
Like eagles. Do you see eagles flying together?
Nah.
They're typically solo dolo. Who do you see flying together? It's the birds that are lower. No, and I'm not saying like we're higher, people are lower, but I'm just
flock mentality.
Yeah, it's the flock mentality. Thank you. It's the flock mentality. And it's like, what do you want in your life? Do you want to be able to know who you really are, or do you want to just keep going off of other people's opinions? Like, what do you want in your life?
See, I had to realize this mindset is very rare nowadays, because like I used to get irritated at my friends, like, how could you not want this and that?
Yeah.
And some people, bro, just being real, they don't want it. But what I think could fix that is like having the relationship with Christ and then reading the Bible and finding out like who God is telling you are.
Yeah.
Will get you to that point, because I think it's a self-esteem thing, and it's not an arrogance thing. It's more so like, from my journey through the Bible now, there's so many things that God is telling you he's going to do in your life. You start getting to the point of where like, I really don't have time for all this stuff. And it's not being arrogant. It's not being condescending. It's not being rude. It's just, you get your priorities right. And then what I want to say, like John's getting at with these like conversations, you'll start noticing there's no solutions in the conversations that are going on. And the point where he's saying it of the vantage point of the eagle is more so not like he's higher than or above, but God teaches you the solution. So it's like in his mind, in my mind, when I'm in that situation, it's like, dude, like, how could you think that way? Like, but God's got you. Like, if you do A, B, and C, like, that problem's gone. But these people don't have that relationship.
No. And another thing, like with that eagle's point of view, you get to see more. It's a broader point of view. So your mind, God can really use it because it's not cluttered with junk.
You're not focused on me in the ground yet.
Yeah. So you're not. It's not just like me and like just the flock. It's like, no, this is everything going on.
Yeah, the big picture.
Because even back in like a few months ago, I used to have like arguments with people, or like there was like discourse. People would be, this is what you did to me. This is what did, and da. And in my head, it's like, I am sorry that I did that. Like, truly, I am sorry. I don't think that's the main issue, though. The main issue is this part. And then it's like, we can't see eye to eye because they're stuck on themselves, and I'm stuck on the bigger picture because I won't come to them like right away, like, this is what you did to me. It's like after a while, defensively, I will, because it's like, bro, like, all I hear is what I've done to you. Do you not think like I'm a human too? You did something to me? But it's like, no, I try to like
I heard it in your voice right there.
Yeah,
hey,
like,
bro, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it's like I try to offset it, like we've both hurt each other.
Yeah. And
it's not because we wanted to, but it's because this is the underlying issue.
Yeah.
But you can't get there if you don't have that eagle's point of view. If you're gonna stay with that flock mentality, good luck.
And you get that eagle's point of view by doing the verse that we started this all off with, is like living the quiet life, working with your hands,
minding your business
gives you that point of view, because like when you're occupied doing the right things and focusing and submitting yourself to Christ, that's when godly wisdom enters your life. And when you start experiencing godly wisdom, one, you have to realize it's not you.
Yeah.
And it can be, and I've experienced this through isolation period where like I was focused on God. I thought that like I was good and I was like super smart, and I went back out and I started doing it without God. It disappeared overnight.
Yeah.
Like, so understand that it's not
you
of you, but he's not giving you that wisdom
To be boastful and prideful.
Yeah, he's giving it through obedience so that way you can emulate Jesus Christ and what Jesus did.
Remember what was it today that we yeah, it was today in the morning when we brought it up with Jesus. Like, do you know how like that's first of all, that's God in person.
Yeah.
But that's godly wisdom he showed in the Bible, because anytime an enemy would come and try to attack him, he would be like, no. What you're trying to do is to get me to focus on this little thing. That's not it. The problem is this. And here's the solution to this. Like, the 10 Commandments is very, like, yeah, people don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
It's a lot more than that.
Jesus said, okay, let me fulfill all of it. Don't do this. But a deeper sense is don't do this. Like lust, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, he said, yes, do not commit adultery. Don't commit it. However, if you even look at a woman with lustful eyes or think about it, you've already committed it.
Yeah.
And then it said murder. Yeah, it's like, okay, I didn't murder this person.
Yeah, but in your head, in your thoughts, in your actions,
anger. He was like, if the anger comes out, end it. Right then and there. Yeah. End it. Go right away and make amends with your brother or sister.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like, but that's godly wisdom. And that's him looking at such a broader point of view. Because that's how God sees things. We can't see it like him.
Yeah.
But that's how he sees things. It's like, you guys are just, all you can see really is your point of view. And if I bless you, then you can start seeing what I see.
Yeah.
But earthly, like worldly wisdom is your point of view. And that's why it becomes like society right now, survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And
that's the mentality.
Turns
and it's
into
terrible.
Ego and pride.
And think about that though. That's the biggest sin humanity has. It's pride.
Yeah.
Thinking we know better and we inflate who we really are. And that's why it is tough for people to get to Christ and want to be like have that relationship with Jesus.
But dude, think about that though. You're 100% right. But when I think about that, it's so crazy to me because like people will submit themselves to the Xbox, to the PS5, to the whatever sports team, to whatever fashion trend, to this TikTok star, to that TikTok star. But when it comes to God, I can't do that, bro.
But look, because, right, all these things you can blame. You could blame all these things. Yeah, you can submit yourself to the Xbox. When I did that, I would blame the game and why I was not the best at it.
Yeah.
nah, bro, I'm lagging. If it's Call of Duty, I'm lagging, bro. Yeah. That's not it. If it's like Madden, before I got humbled and I was like, no, I'm just not as good as I think I am and I need to work at it. It was, nah, bro, you cheating, bro. You just running the same play, bro.
Yeah.
But it was like, the guy that was beating me was
he figured it out.
Yeah, he figured it out. And he ran, like, it looked the same play. But as soon as he hiked that ball, it was a different route every time. Or he would do the same play because I was stupid enough to stay doing the same play that wouldn't fit. Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But that's that. Like, so I would blame everything else rather than, I'm just not good. And I think that's like where God was helping me, was like humbling me through all these experiences. Like, hey, it's not their fault. It's not this thing's fault. You're just not good enough.
Well, and
you got to work on it.
And that's the key point for the person coming back to Christ, for him to really start like working on you, is you, and it's not like a guilt trip thing, and it's not like self-destructive, it's not self-criticism, it's realizing like, hey, I really am a problem without Christ. Like without Christ in my life, like there's a lot of things that like I could be doing better. And you should look at it as a point of like a blessing. Reason being is because once you're there with the might, it's not like you're gonna admit all these things to God and then God's gonna be like, all right, bro, I'm out. Like, thanks for like letting me know. And he's gonna help build you and get through all of that stuff.
Way.
Yeah.
But I want to like even expand like more, and then we'll go like how God works, right?
Yeah.
Because okay, that's the Xbox. What was another thing you brought up? Like
TikTok's influencers.
Okay,
so
we'll say
people
TikTok.
do make those gods.
Yeah, we'll say TikTok, like with the influencers, right?
Yeah.
They'll tell you do this, and this. You'll believe them, or you'll have faith in them. You'll trust them. You do this, and this, and this. It doesn't work out for you. because it's BS.
Yeah.
There's very few people that can do it. The ones that are doing it, they've done it long ago. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, sorry, it's no longer the trend. You're late.
Yeah.
Like, they already got it. So then you get disappointed. Now you blame them. Nah, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not, for example, people that did crypto and got burned.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, bro. This is a lie. It's this, whatever. You go to the news, politics. Oh, this and this. This is what I promised to do for you. This is what was gonna happen. When they don't execute on that,
2024.
you hate them. Yeah, you hate them. And it's like, you promised me this. You said this. Da 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 da. And then it's like, you blame them. Relationships. You'll hop from one relationship to another relationship, right? And then you'll blame that person. Nah, it's their fault. And then you'll get into the next relationship.
It's you, bro.
Yeah, you'll get into the next relationship. They'll be like, hey, why did you break up with this person?
Oh, here's the list of everything they did.
It's their fault.
Yeah.
And then it's like, when will you ever like realize?
Look at you.
Yeah, all these things that you chase after, it's none of their fault. Those were actually created for you to enjoy. However, since you put it in the place of God, you'll get disappointed because the answers that you're looking for are not there.
And it's not that I'm trying to find what I sent here one time.
You're Gucci. While you keep looking for it, I don't know who needed to hear this, but whatever you're going through, it's your fault. 1,000%. No, 1,000%.
I know. It's my favorite meme right now.
Facts. Whatever you're going through right now, it is your fault.
Yep. And the best part is though, is you're the only person that can make it better.
How? Right?
Through God.
Through God.
But you have to do the work.
And what did Jesus promise? He said, hey, bring all your burden to me.
Lay it on him. Cast it at his feet.
I will take care of you. All I need from you now, one, I have to be Lord over your life.
Yeah.
Because I created you. I know what's best for you. I know what it will take for you to live a life full of joy, peace, happiness, the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah.
I know what it will take. But you got to trust me and let me be in control. Just follow what I tell you. Be obedient. Yeah. That's it. And then he says, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments.
Correct.
He really left us with 2 commandments. And that was the bulk of everything is 2 commandments. However, it's better that you go read the Bible to see everything.
Yeah.
Because there's so many commandments, there's so many promises, and he delivers every single time with the different stories you see. But the 2 commandments was 1, love the Lord your God with all your soul, your heart, your mind. Love him.
Your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah. And it's not even yes, there's the love your neighbor as yourself, but you change that, love the neighbor as I loved you.
Yeah. Because
even we fall short. Sometimes we don't even love ourselves. When we're starting this journey, we don't love ourselves. Yeah. So how could you love, you're only going to be able to love that next person as much as you can love yourself.
But this is what I love about this though, is and I wish I heard this before coming back to Christ, and when you are ready to make that decision to follow Christ, you don't have to necessarily clean up your act in your own power and then go to church and appear and you're already made whole.
No.
So the judgmental thing for me, right, was I was smoking pot and I was drinking all the time.
Yeah. And
I was dang, if I'm going to be around church, and this is the cancer part of the church, is the church makes you feel this way, is I have to clean up my act to go to church. And it's realistically, this preacher depicted it perfectly, was dude, you can come in with all of these problems.
Yeah.
And the more you let God into your life and Jesus in your life, Jesus is going to start shedding these things off of you.
Yes.
So it's right now, no, you don't need to quit all that. But when God prompts you and lets you know it's time to let these things go,
yes,
just start dropping them.
You have to.
Yeah.
And why don't we want to drop it? It's pride.
Because it's comfortability too for a lot of people.
It comes down to pride.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is where you feel your sense of self-esteem.
Yeah.
Not understanding, leave your self-esteem out the window. That's humility. It's to understand it's not about me. It's about Jesus.
Yeah.
And when I make it about Jesus, he uplifts you. And it's I'm gonna keep making it about Jesus, and he's gonna keep making your name louder and louder. Think about all the prophets in the Bible when when it was their turn, their era, right? Every single one of them was the most humble person at that time in the world. He said it about Moses, like he said it about everyone, and it's like, wow.
Well, and what I like about like the things that God brings into your life when you're submitted to him and have the correct posture is like you gain a real sense of humbleness, because the more he reveals to you, the less you feel as if you're the next best thing. You start realizing like, dang, I really am nothing but a grain of sand.
Yeah.
Like on the beach.
Yeah.
And you're just like, the picture just keeps getting bigger, and as the picture gets bigger, you get smaller.
Yes. You get smaller, but life is much simpler.
Yes.
And you're not stressed or worried. You're not trying to catch up. You're not trying to, what's the next trend? No. You stay on oh my God, that's where the solid rock comes from.
I stand, yeah.
Because if you're chasing all these trends, you're going to wither away because it's fleeting. But if you stay on what's solid, you ain't never going to move.
And you could build on something solid.
And he said, establish your home in him. Establish your house in him. That's you. Establish your life through, like, in him.
Yeah.
Boy, that's bars. And then now I also wanted to go back to, I was looking for a text message that we had. Remember the one I sent you where I said, God isn't looking for perfection. He's looking to perfect us. We shouldn't try and help God perfect ourselves or correct our lives before we commit to him. All we have to do is to be ready and willing to let him work in our lives and have faith that he will help us.
It's facts.
And we just, it's crazy how what we be talking about, my boy. I know I'm trying to get to where you at. Cause
no way, bro. Dude, don't wish this on yourself. Ask Freddie, it's a curse. Right? What? Dealing with this every day, I wish I took back that prayer when I was 13.
You tripping, boy. I'm finna grow this out. No, I'm finna grow this out.
Until it grows out, and then you're like, dang, I gotta take care of this every day.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be just like this, too. Just like this. God's gonna take care of me. He's gonna take care of me. What?
You said the birds are like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Mana's gonna be dropping down. Money's gonna be growing through here, blessing people. Here you go.
Here you go.
Here you go. Yeah.
It's the money beard, baby.
Come on, man. But
I'm messing.
No, you're good. I mean, we gotta have some fun. A little bit of fun. Sure. But like with that being said, we'll go back to like that 1 Thessalonians 4 and verse 12. And it says, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody.
It's true.
Before like we really relinquished control of our lives to God, oh man, I was dependent on everyone.
Yeah.
Like if really something happened, too. I'm running to hey bro, oh this is happening. What am I supposed to do? Like now I don't have that. Like when was the last time I hit you up like, hey, this and this? It's been a minute. And it's like, no, like, bro, just chilling. Like
you get to the point of where like you just understand in time and patience and steadfast faith, he's gonna provide. So there's no point, to get worried or stressed.
And when you do that too, now people get
irritated with you, bro.
But they also get dirt on you because you don't know. Sometimes, well, yes, when you have not built that, you've not matured in the faith. You don't know who's wolf in sheep clothing, and some people are just all they want is just intel on you. And then they prey on your downfall. Oh, this is happening. Good.
That's why, especially in life, living the quiet life is the way to go about it. Because unfortunately, and this is not like me talking to you or to Freddie.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately a lot of people that you have surrounded around you, if you're not paying attention, they don't really like you. They're envious of you. And so if you keep on spoon feeding the devil you're sitting next to, and then like at some point when they feel like they could overpower you or slander you, they will. So it's like that's what this verse is explaining also, is like, and plus the verse to back up what I just said is like, do not cast your pearls to swine.
Oof.
Because it's like, at a certain point, one, not everybody needs to know your business, but two, the second part is like when you're just talking just to talk, you're actually devaluing the words that are coming out of your mouth. So it's like you have to get to the point in which when you're saying something, it's effective rather than, oh, John's just saying another thing, or, oh, Freddie's just saying another thing. You just get to the point of this meekness where you're just like, give you an example of this social circle is like, let's say John helped out with a situation months ago and really has been quiet since then, and a new problem arises, and then John speaks up and he's like, hey, like, we should do this. Everyone's going to be like, pff. But if John's trying to micromanage and fix everybody in every situation, when that big problem comes around, they're going to be like, no, John just says this about everything. He's just trying to control everything.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. Like it. I mean, we literally are seeing it in our lives.
It's
and
true.
That's the best part too. Like when you read this and you're applying it, he starts showing you like, hey, like, just so you see what I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
Look at this person. Look at this situation. Look at this person. Also, now that you're seeing this, I'm going to throw you a test. Are you learning what I'm teaching you?
Yeah.
Throw that test there. And it's like, are you going to pass it? Or are you going to remain in that same cycle?
Yeah.
It's like, when are you finally going to realize what he's doing? I got another Bible verse right here for you. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. Before I open this up, think about the temptations that Jesus had to face with the devil. It's all three of these. I love how this, because I remember when I was reading, and I kept rereading that, like Jesus' temptations, like what are the temptations the devil does use for people? Because I don't want to go into specifics, like, oh, you use alcohol, you use drugs, he could use all that, but no, I want the broad, and like, what is the main? Like, what is it, right? And it's the lust of the flesh. Jesus says, not eat by bread alone, right? But we eat by the word of the Lord. The lust of the eyes. And I'm pretty sure that was when he said, I can give you, oh no, it's not even, that's not the one yet. It was when he said, like, jump off of here and have the angels carry you. Yeah. And he was like, thou shalt not test the Lord thy God.
Yeah, and then he like,
then the last
even
one
takes it a little further too, and he's like, so you don't dash your foot, like trying to make it a pride thing. Yeah. And it's like, bro, if it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah, like I'm not about to. I know who and it's interesting. You're trying to trick God.
Well, and that's what I've started to identify in my life specifically. The devil is always going to tempt you in ways that are perceived as a blessing of God. Yeah. Oh. And it's like, but it's like you always have to be like, just think about it for a little bit and be like, is this thing sustainable where it's going to be long term? Because that would be from God. Yeah. Or is this like a temporary satisfaction? Yeah. And like that's a good way to decipher it, because it's like for instance, like finding a wife or like you're dating. Yeah. Is this person satisfying my temporary loneliness now? Is this person satisfying like my need for company? Just go down the list. Or am I dating this person because I can see longevity with them and I'm not having lustful thoughts about them, and I'm actually attracted to who this person is in their mind rather than their physical appearance?
No, like 1,000%. Like, it's what you're saying is facts, bro. Like, and think about the fruits of the spirit. One of the key ones is patience, long suffering, and that was something that I struggled with. Yes, because
now I was thinking about it, we're both pretty patient.
Yeah, like I'm God, I'm thankful for where you got me at right now. I'm not trying to make the move myself. I want you to lay the path for me. You lead, I follow.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I was thinking about this and it ties into what we were saying. I was thinking about this at work.
Yeah.
I know for a fact myself, I don't think I would have been able to successfully do my job without God, because it is sales.
Yeah.
And there is pressure. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you think that because he's teaching patience, like being faithful on him, being dependent on him, I think that's the only reason why I get to keep my job? Because, like, bro, I see other people wigging out, but I'm like, nah, dude, like, God's going to come through. And people don't understand that about me. They're like, bro, but you have a quota. But it's like every time I'm patient, being faithful, it comes through. But every time I try to, like, get my hands in it, it's game
terrible.
over. Yeah.
And then even, like, when I get prideful, I'm like, yeah, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. God's like,
that's happened to me. I stopped real quick. I was like, I even told my boss, I'm like, hey, I ain't ever gonna tell you something I have 100% until it's on my desk.
Yeah.
Like, if you want those answers, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
But I will tell you when it's on my desk, because, like, I admit it hurt, dog.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was all excited when I first got the job, and it was like to the door, and I was like, my pride kicked in. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be signed on the line here, here, and it didn't happen. And I was like, oh.
And then you start making promises and you can't keep.
And like, ever since then, I was like, they'll be like, well, what do you have going on? And it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all of this. Like, this is what I'm working on.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That's where. But that's where my patience came in too, because I'm like, dude, what, like. First of all, you
realize everything takes time.
It does.
On their end, on our end.
Who says I'm going to live tomorrow? Who says you're going to live tomorrow? Who said this company is still going to be in business tomorrow? But you want what is going to happen the next month?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea, my brother. But here, this is my activity. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, with my management and like the company is like, oh yeah, John, like you're leading in all these metrics, and it's like they know it takes time, and it's like, okay, it takes time, and that some deals just don't happen.
Yeah.
But there you go. However, you're CC'd on all these emails I'm sending out now, right? And you're like, I have you in my meetings, so you get to know what's going on. So rather than ask me what's gonna close this month, John, okay, I don't know, but this is what we're working on. These are possibilities. Yeah. You know that too, so stop asking me that. But I understand though. It's part of the business. Cool. I'm doing my job to the best of my ability, like God said, and I'm doing it to honor God, not for man. I don't care. Like, thank you for the praises, but I don't care for it.
See, and that's why I don't get insecure and tell my bosses, oh, all of this stuff's gonna happen, because I'm living my life for God, so it's making me not lie about it. It's like, I'm just telling you the truth. And guess what, the truth will set you free. And guess what, after every single one of those meetings, I'm not anxious, I'm not depressed,
I'm Gucci,
because I did the right thing. And I glorified God by not succumbing to, oh, John, I got all this lined up and this and that and this and that, and then it's like, and then after you leave that meeting, you're like, oh man, I gotta make some calls.
And it's like,
it's horrible.
I'm not making no promises. I'm letting my yes be yes, my no be no. Here's what I have for you. That's what it is. And it gives you clear mind, a free mind, so that even when you do get in the word, you're not stressed about tomorrow or what you just said in the past. It's like, no, everything I said I've done to the best of my ability. Here it is. Like, there's even a situation where I was like, I didn't feel comfortable with like one of the projects, right? And I was like, God, I'm gonna leave this to your hand. God prolonged the project, got it to the point like, okay, John, we've seen you've done everything you can. I was like, I didn't feel comfortable with it, but if you guys want to proceed the way you want to, proceed with it. Funny enough, they proceed with it, but it's like, it's on them. It's like,
it's not me.
It ain't me. But it's on you.
No,
but cool though. Do you though? Do you? But my hands are washed. I let
Dang,
you.
you Pontius Pilate them?
I Pontius Pilate them because I'm not. Nah, I'm doing things with honor.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I just had to,
Yeah,
the reference was there.
Exactly,
dog.
but literally, that's what it was. It's like Pontius Pilate, like, bro, I don't want none of that. Like, that's you. You wanted to do that? Go ahead.
This is the people's court, baby.
Yeah, like, go ahead. But like, it cleared my conscience.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so good. Like, I can sleep very well at night knowing I've done all I can today.
And I want to touch on that. That is the benefits of living the life that we're talking about. Is like it's like this is the trend of, I feel like, the past like 5 episodes. It gets to it at some points, but it's like the peace that is beyond your understanding, and like that's where the contentment, and it's just like I feel like that's the fertilizer is the peace. Mm-hmm. And the best part of it is when you live the life the way that we're trying to describe to you, it allows you to become that actual vessel that's present as well. Because I feel like when I'm not focused on God and I'm not like in my word reading,
yeah,
and seeing how I can apply it, where there's a doing part in my life, then I'm like either reminiscing on the past,
yeah,
or I'm like thinking about my future.
You can't enjoy the present.
You can't be the present, and like being present should be the Christian super like power.
Yeah.
Because like we're called to be like Christ, but if we're supposed to be like Christ, you have to be in the present moment to be that willing participant and vessel in this chaotic world around you to try to bring order.
Bro, think about the conversations you have, the ones that are so impactful and the ones that throw people, like, that kind of wake them from the matrix, is when you're present. When they can say something and you, rather than just like react and answer
oh, dang, that's wild.
Yeah. Instead, it's like you have thought to your response, and then now it hits them and it's just like,
this guy pays attention to me.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what? Damn. Like, yeah, he does pay attention. Like the conversation I told you about the coffee today.
Yeah.
When I had to like okay, no names. I don't know if they'll ever watch this. If you watch it, I'm not putting you under the bus, but it's like things like this. I get coffee in the morning. I drove to the office, got some coffee, and small talk. I'm not good at small talk because I'm gonna make it deep.
Yeah.
And if it's not a deep conversation, we're not gonna talk.
Yeah.
Simple. It's gonna die there, right then and there. Answer, walk away, no problem. I don't want to deal with that. And dude wanted to, say what's up, and like you can say what's up with me. Say what's really on your mind rather than the small talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says, oh man, you just got some of the coffee? I say, yeah, bro. Yeah, I got some of the coffee. It's like, oh man, it's a pretty good coffee, huh? And I was like, being honest, bro, I grew up like I didn't grow up with money. So
Coffee's coffee.
Yeah, so like it all tastes the same to me. I just like, I'm thankful and grateful that, they get it for us. He was like, oh, you can just see my pause, like
the NPC glitching.
Yeah.
Just
it's like I kind of like glitched the system for a second, and he was like, nah, but he was like, nah, that's a good point. But when you taste coffee, you'll know the ones that's not good because it's like burnt. And then like my response to it was like, yeah, I know. That's why I put like cream and sugar.
Mask
like,
it.
Yeah, so I don't have to. But it's coffee's good, bro. It's pretty solid coffee, man. And for him, it was like, yeah, man, yeah, it's good coffee. And
then you're just standing there for like a couple seconds.
Yeah, and then I just walked away. And it was like,
all right, I'll see you later, brother.
It was like one of those like, dang, like, did this guy just like, who do you think you are to be talking to me about coffee like that? It's like, no, like, bro, like, none of that matters, bro. Like,
it's free.
Yeah, it's
That's
free.
all that matters.
I'm grateful I have it, because then if I do the opposite, and what I've done in the past, and it's not with coffee per se, but other topics, like, if I don't agree that the coffee's good, then it turns into a complaint session.
Yeah.
Oh man, we
right.
make so much money in this company. You should be able to get us so much better stuff and like, real good stuff. And it's like, bro,
chill out.
You're not paying a dime for it. Be grateful for what you got. If you don't like it, guess what? Use your own money. Go get what you like. Yeah. Go get that coffee. You know what I mean? But like for me, bro, I'm a simple guy. That coffee's pretty good.
It does the job.
It does the job. Now it's different if we go to the gas station. I can't drink that coffee. It's not for me. But I understand. I'm not gonna go there for
I'm
coffee.
gonna be
That's
your
your type?
coworker.
Oh, go ahead.
If they brought 7-Eleven coffee, it's game over, dog. 7-Eleven, I will go down to my grave saying this, has the best coffee and the best price you will ever experience.
My bad. So maybe
life.
not 7-Eleven. I'll say gas station. Maybe not say. I don't know if I'd say.
No, but that was my rant.
Oh, with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
7-Eleven coffee, bro.
Oh, I mean, fantastic, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool, you know? One of these days, if I ever get a chance, I'll try it out.
Just try it out, dude. It'll change your life. Then you come back to the office, complain about the coffee, bro.
You know? Yeah, literally.
You try not to laugh.
Yeah. I would really laugh. I would have really laughed and just be like, bro, coffee is coffee, bro. It ain't never that serious, bro. Like,
or hey, this is my favorite one, right? Is like, you're in the office, and this always happens when I'm really focused on my word in the morning, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm real focused. I come in, I'm at peace, and it's this, and then it's the bait questions into like, let's complain about this.
Oh my God.
And you're just like,
bruh.
God, if you could just help me now. And like, I'm too nice of a person where like everybody can ignore, and then I'm just like, what's on your plate? And then I just have to like don't hear it, bro. I know, but like, bro,
don't.
I know, but
don't
I
open
get
it. If you have the chance, like,
but dude, I don't have the heart to like stone cold.
Yes,
like,
you do. Cause you know what, Paul. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. But Paul talks about it where he was like, keep away from noiseless chit chatter because it spreads like gangrene, and that was just repeating in my head, and I was like, why? Like, if there is that open opportunity to start complaining about things, one, I will either shut it down with kindness by like showing you like, hey, bro, like, you do understand this is a blessing, right? Like, no matter what happens, like, it doesn't matter if you're gifted something, bro, it's a blessing. Like, be grateful for what it is. Many people on the other side wish they could have that.
Well, and that's the perspective I usually take, is like, when they start complaining, especially about like the job or the management or this or that, it's like, from my experience, this is pretty good. I've had a lot of jobs in my day, and this ain't that bad. If you don't like it, I'm sorry for you, but the grass is not always greener. Like in this place is.
Bro, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like my job, blessing.
Yeah.
The benefits, blessing. When I hear people complain, I'm like, bruh, hey man, like, but I don't say nothing. I let them like go ahead. I know,
but it hurts. You're like, oh.
No, I don't need to. Like, go ahead, complain, bro. Because guess what? You don't keep complaining, you'll lose out on this opportunity. Yeah. Then you're gonna go to the next job, and then you're gonna be begging to come back.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, you know, it was a mistake, and bro, you know where you're at.
Like, just chill out, bro.
Like, my boy, you are a Fortune 10 company in the world.
Yeah.
And you're complaining? Bro, come on, man.
And when you don't have God, that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. Here's the Bible verse. I knew it was 2 Timothy. I should have just went to it. 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 16. Avoid godless chatter, because those who indulge in it will become more and more ungodly.
That's facts, though.
Now I want to bring up like the verse, the whole thing, because I also have another one queued up. That's the only thing about. Where's that? Yeah, I want to bring up like the whole like chapter on that. All right, whatever. I'll just bring it up on the Bible app, because I had the other one I wanted to keep up. So 2 Timothy 2. 16. Okay, yeah, 16. Thank you. So actually, we'll read from verse 14 to verse 14 and verse 19. So it says, keep reminding God's people of these things. Warn them before God against quarreling about words. It is of no value and only ruins those who listen. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Avoid godless chatter because those who indulge in it will become more and more ungodly. Their teaching will spread like gangrene. Among them are Hymenaeus and Philetus, who have departed from the truth. I literally listen to this every morning, this verse. They say that the resurrection has already taken place, and they destroy the faith of some. Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription: the Lord knows those who are his, and everyone who confesses the name of the Lord must turn away from wickedness. But he basically told you, like avoid all those things. Like,
There's
but
no
if they,
point.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, if it is like literally like they put your name, like, hey, I want to hear your opinion. Okay, give them a righteous opinion, and then walk away.
True, yeah.
And, or not even an opinion, give them the truth, and then walk away. Have them think for once. Oh, yeah, I never thought about that.
And then, hey, when you do stuff like that, though, people will stop including you in the conversation,
Which
as
is
well.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'd rather live.
But
a quiet
instead
life.
of being rude to them and they don't talk to you, it's just like, oh, well, I just don't want to feel good today, so I'm not going to ask John something because he's going to change my life.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to. Because every time we talk with John, he always like he starts getting deep, and I don't want to talk about all that. Like, bro, just leave me alone. Let me.
Dude,
be.
okay, I have to bring it up. Bro, I was on a date like a couple months ago. I told you about this. And it got to the point of like mindless chatter. And then I hit her with like a deep thought, like, hey, this is what I actually think about this. Bro, it was so sad because like she was a great person, but I could tell like it was like one of those where like went in the ear and then it was like, and then there was like the conversation was not the same after that because it was just like they were thinking about it. And it's like, dude, you really should do that to people if you're speaking the truth. Yeah. Because like you never know what kind of influence that person has. And I was a willing participant into speaking what God would have wanted me to say in that moment rather than what I wanted to say to potentially have this later in the future. I was more willing to like, you know what? It's already been a nice night. I've already enjoyed myself. Like, here you go. Yeah. And you never know. Like, I don't talk to that person anymore, but it could have changed their life. Yeah. And like, that's more important than me satisfying my approval of John and Freddie of like what they think of me. Sometimes you have to like what John's saying is just, and it's not like you're just mic dropping people and then like you tighten your belt and you turn around and you walk out. It's you're doing it how we described at the beginning of this episode, where it's like you've been attentive. Yeah. You're hitting with a little vulnerability. Here comes the honesty. It's because love and care. Yeah, they see the and love then and it's care. Like, okay. And like usually either one or two things happen. The conversation de-escalates or this person opens up to you
because they want better.
And then you start feeding them and you're watering them.
Exactly. No, that's, come on. Like, that's the parable we talked about. Yeah. Right? With the harvest. Yeah. It's literally that. Either you're going to plant the seed or you're going to be the one to water it and really like reap that harvest for Jesus.
Well, and the more I'm focusing on my relationship with Christ and learning who he is and how he operates, the more I'm seeing the harvest, if that makes sense. I'm able to identify it a lot more. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because it's like you really see, and it's disheartening because if you're looking at it from the perspective of God, like it's very hard to see how many people are actually lost. And it's like,
it's a lot.
There's a lot of homes, but none of the lights are on.
Think about what Ecclesiastes, what Solomon was teaching us in that. Yeah. He was basically teaching us this. And this is, my heart does yearn for this, like that people do get to know Christ. That's why we do this every week. However, I'm also leaving that to God as well. Yeah. Use me how you want to.
This is our spot and it stops here.
Yeah. Like it's literally that. Yeah. It's like, it sucks that this is where the world is. I'm so grateful that you chose me, like out of all these people, to be able to do this and to grow with you. And I'm thankful that I'm willing to do it. Yeah. Like glory to you for that. and thank you for being merciful. And I also understand like others are like this, and me, rather than me trying to force it on them, no, all I can do is just be an example. And if it's me you're gonna use to change this person, oh, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this opportunity.
And if it's not me, but that person does change, thank you, Lord, because it goes back to our message today.
Yeah.
How do you live a life pleasing to God? How do you bring heaven on earth?
It's through that verse.
And it's through that. And then I want to end it here with this scripture. Matthew 22, verse 36 to 40. The Pharisee said, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" We just talked about this a little bit earlier. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments." So it's like Jesus already throughout Matthew, like when they're going over his life and his ministry, he was like, these are the commandments, like specifics. This is also like, and then it also shows his fruits, like his deeds, what he did, the miracles he did. And he comes down to say, all of these things I've did, if I can summarize it for you in two commandments, are this. Love God with everything you have. And then the second one is love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
And it was like, and that's it. That's a mic drop, man.
Well, and it's just that simple. Like, without making it bigger than it has to be, it's literally what we're called to do. And when you start doing that, God's going to show you everything else, because when you're loving him the way that he's asking you, he's going to reveal everything to you.
100%.
And it's like, I got to give a shout out to Troy, because Troy wants to focus this so much that he's going to be Enoch 2.0. It's like, I respect it, bro. Like, think about saying that. Like, if your heart's really lined up like that,
yeah,
just to be Enoch, like, bro, you did what he's saying. You get what I'm saying? So it's
that's
like,
interesting hearing like who people would love to be like in the Bible.
He's like, he says all the time, he's like, I just want to be the players. I just get Enoch. Like, he's like, you ain't gonna find my body, nothing. I'm just gonna be gone. I'm like, I'm pulling.
Did I tell you like the prayer I prayed like I feel like a year and a half ago, and it was a selfish prayer, but it wasn't in a prideful way. I prayed to God and I was like, God, if you will allow me, like, please, can I be the second greatest to ever like live out your commandments only to Jesus?
That's a good thing to strive for, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not,
I can't
memes, no nothing.
Yeah, I can't beat Jesus.
Yeah.
He was perfect. He is God in human flesh.
But that's how you're going to become, through him working through you. And if that's the desires of your heart, like, that's going to be the process of refining. You're going to be be up there.
And I'll be honest,
as long as you have that focus point.
The beginning of the refining process, tough. But I would never trade it for anything in the world, because I've never felt this like just at peace in my life. Like, I told you like how I'm running on literally like no sleep.
Yeah.
But I have so much energy. And it like, you were also checking up like, are you good? Like, you're solid? And I'm like, and I'm there like, if only like I can just like share with you my peace right now, like how I feel, what's going on in my mind, you would see I'm perfectly fine. Like, in my head, bro, like there's no doubt, worry, anxiety in my head. Yeah. Like, there's none of that. Like, all that's in my head, it's like, okay, woke up today. Thank you, Lord, for giving me another day. Pray with him. Read my psalm of the day. Read a couple of scriptures. All right, for work, this is what I remember that was left off. Do this, get this done. After work, all right, watch a little bit of YouTube. Maybe get on the game, chill a little bit. Get back in scripture. Go to sleep. Till tomorrow. And then it's like, whatever comes with the day comes with the day. And I'm gonna just, and it's like that simple. And it's like,
But the crazy thing is how satisfying it is. Yeah. Because you're checking off all the boxes required of you.
True. And I'll be honest, like, I don't even want to be getting bothered by people. To be honest, and no one like
hit up the do not disturb.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't even have to because my phone is just naturally.
No, I know.
It's like I'm blessed because my phone is naturally dry right now. Like, the only person I'll chat to really be you, or like one other like person, and that'd be it. And it's like I'm good on all that other. Like, you guys keep your worry and anxiety to yourself. Don't bring that upon me. I can't do nothing for you. All I can do is just redirect you to our Maker. And I've been doing that for so long, and none of y'all want to hear. So how about this? Let me just show you what happens when you give it to God.
Yeah.
And then when you see it in my life, then hopefully you can say, I mean, he did tell us. And then, I mean, look at his life too. And it's like, yeah, there you go.
It's the whole point. And bro, your life becomes so simple. It's like, I think it was like the second episode. No, I think it was the second time I met you. We were talking about being free from the rat race. It's the solution, dog.
Yeah. I think I'm free from it now. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I know.
Like, I think we're free from it because it's like, yeah, bro. I don't try to keep up. I'm not trying to be on the trend. I don't care for the trend. Matter of fact, I deleted anything that would try to alert me on trends. I'm good on that.
Hey, the thing that I do now is like, and it's not like being competitive or like thinking that I'm better than somebody. But what I like doing now is like, for all those people that you have as a lens on social media of like, why am I not there yet? Mm-hmm. It's realizing that like, if I'm blessed enough to be here a long period of time, it's like, okay, but like, life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So like, let's meet up in 50 years and just see how everything's transpired. And it's not even right. It's not even like, it's not even that.
No,
but it's
no, it is. No, let's see who was right.
Well, yeah, because we're living
or
God, yeah. And then just to be like this, you'll literally get to the point of like where you sit down in 50 years and you're like, this is all literally because I've submitted myself to God.
Bro, and it's not even like 50 years. Yeah, like 50 years would be such a big flex. You could do it in a year. True. Half a year. And it's like, yeah, bro, like, I like being off the radar now.
Dude, it's fun, dude.
Fun.
Nobody needs to know.
Yeah, nobody needs to know your mystery. Just quiet and just like peaceful. I'm just, woke up today, like, this is the first.
This is the sick part of me, though. What? My favorite thing about being off the radar is nobody really knows how you stand with them because you ain't following them and they ain't following you. You're just there, bro. Yeah. And it's like, well, I don't know if John likes me or not. And it's like, bro,
I love everyone, bro. Like, it really is that. At the end of the day, I love everyone.
No, but you'll see it, bro. You'll see the difference. Like, people act different towards you than somebody that like they follow each other type of thing. Yeah. Because now they're like, oh, I already got their approval. Yeah. But like, what's up with John? Let me make sure. Let me check in here.
Yeah. Like, are you cool with me? It's like, bro.
What? Yo, I still remember that, bro.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what?
No worries, bro.
You appreciate y'all checking in. We're about to take this off cam. Yeah. But literally, y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. This is John.
This is Cam.
This is John.
This is Cam.
And deuces. We out of here.
I thought you were pointing
Yeah, I'm pointing at
that one. Is this one? I was like, I am looking at that one.
No, because this one was on. And I was like,
how do we tell that one's on though?
When this is not red.
That one goes? Yeah. Is this a live feed? Or what's this one? Just a...
Yeah, he's just showing us the cam right now.
Sheesh.
Now we back on.
I'm about to pee my pants.